going on, guys? Welcome to Big Beard and Friends, episode 261. All right, first and foremost, as I say week after week after week, before I even start the show, truly, I want you to know that if you are feeling down, out, depressed, at your wit's end, confused, full of anxiety, if you feel all alone, you feel really sad, I have to tell you, you're not alone. Many of us go through life with the guise of a smile, where we tell everybody that we're okay when in reality we're not. And the only reason you tell somebody you're not is because you feel like if you tell them really what's wrong, they'll probably just make fun of you or make you feel in such a way you wish you never would have shared your feelings to begin with. Trust me, I know this. You're not alone. It's gonna be okay. Sometimes it's very, very hard to understand why things happen in our life. But what's harder is dealing with things that happen that are out of our control. If you are feeling any of this, what I just talked about, it will get better. It's okay to not be okay. What's not okay is staying with the okay. You need to do better. You are worth it. Don't ever, ever, ever give up. That's my message this evening. So I'm going to cut right into the show. And yes, I have facts. I have two different kind of facts tonight. I don't even know how long it's going to take me, but I'm going to do it anyway. I have facts about eggs and taters. Eggs and taters? Yes, eggs. We all know what eggs are. And taters, or you might call them potatoes, where you're from. Where I'm from, I call them taters. And I'll do another topic on this, but also say maters instead of tomatoes. But that's just me. Depending on the situation I'm in, normally I'm going to say taters, not potatoes. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into these eggs facts tonight, and just something that you can win a bar bet or know that you know a fact and encourage somebody else and enlighten them. You could even teach them a thing or two, I suppose. Whatever the case may be. Eggs! Let's get into it. Did you know that North Carolina is the home to more than 14 million laying hens? 14 million laying hens. Do you know how you know what a million is? Add another like 13 and then 14 million? That's crazy. That's phenomenal. Look at the state. Look at the nation that we're in. North Carolina's home to 14 million. More, truly, than 14 million. Wow. Anyway, do you know that North Carolina ranks number 8 in the U.S. for egg production? That's true. Anyway, the yolk contains almost half an egg's protein and a high proportion of its vitamins. So a lot of people don't eat the yolk, and a lot of people like just their whites. And if you're like me, you don't care either way. Whatever I'm in the mood with, really. But I'd rather just not waste it. If it has half the protein and its vitamins, then what does the white have? I don't know. Maybe I'm not understanding it. Maybe not. All right, another fact is that eggs contain, and I'm probably not saying this right, but choline and lutein. Choline and lutein. Is that how you say it? Maybe? Not real sure about that. But it's two important nutritions for brain health. Yeah, you want some nutrients for your brains? I guess that's what you do. They say that they improve your brain health because eating them daily, as we do with breakfast, can actually do wonders for your brain. Look that up. I'm not getting into it. Just giving you facts here that I actually got from ncfieldfamily.org. So, yeah. Did you know a chef's hat? Y'all know what a chef's hat is, and it has all these little pleats in it and on top. Did you know that they have one pleat for every, they say, for each of the many ways that you can cook an egg? You're supposed to be able to like put an egg up there or something like that. There's a thing they do. There's something that ties in with it. I'm not real sure. I don't remember, but I thought it was cool. I thought it was real cool. Listen, eggshell color has no relation. Their quality in eggs, or the nutrition value, or their flavor. It actually has to do, and actually a lot, it varies according to the hen producing it, to the breed of hen. So, now you know. Hens in the United States produce up to 75 billion eggs a year. Really? 75 billion eggs a year? Phenomenal. If you don't need eggs, you don't need eggs. If you like them, you like them. You don't, you don't. There's many, 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 many ways to have them. But always remember that just for one egg, it takes about 24 to 26 hours for that egg to even be what it is. For that hen to produce that great egg that we like. And I'm curious to know if it's a jumbo or normal or medium or how that works out. I don't know. But 24 to 26 hours. Like, what? Have y'all really thought about that? So when we eat them in like seconds, I tell you, you can make them and make them usually really, really quick. A large egg, I was talking about the sizes, but the large egg is one of the least expensive sources of high quality protein. So if you're into eggs and you want these little facts, you know these little facts, and you want to share these little facts, then do it. I just get them online. I find facts about things that I think may or may not be interesting. I know that one egg contains 6 grams of protein and about 70 calories, folks. What? If you're watching your weight, if you're exercising in any shape, form, or fashion, then you know all this about eggs. Did you know that Americans eat about 95 million dozen eggs a year? Isn't that like 279 eggs per person per year? Something like that? What? 95 million dozen. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that was like a number. I don't even know how to count past like a billion, or probably 4. I went to school over in, maybe I better not say where I went to school at. Egg facts. Who knew that it could be fun? I didn't know it could be funny. I didn't know. Let's move on to taters. Tater facts. I'm sorry. Facts you did not know about potatoes. I'm sorry. That just sounds weird to me. Even though I know that's the name. I'm just going to tell you like this. I'm about to tell you some facts about taters that you may or may not have known. Fact 1. They're such a common part of our daily diets. Most of us forget about them. We take them for granted nowadays. I mean, the humble potato, it's just like, what? It's a vegetable. It's considered a staple food across most of our planet. Aside from being cheap and full, of nutrients dense, and one of the main reasons taters are versatile is you can add them to stew, boil them in water, you can mash them, you can bake them, you can do all kind of stuff. Now the truth is, despite their status, they're one of the most important vegetables in human history. But there's more. There's more to these things than meets the eye. That's my joke. Anyway, alright, listen. Potatoes came from South America. And most people might argue with that, and I've heard some other things, but they've actually been adopted pretty much by every country in the world. And we know that they didn't reach Europe until about the 16th century. And but they were in the highlands of the Andes. So geographical terms, it's southern Peru now. So taters go all the way back then. They say the Spanish conquistadors had discovered potatoes and began shipping them back. But they obviously don't know that. They really don't. They begin shipping them back to their homeland, but the popularity in Spain, potatoes failed to catch on at first due to their, everything else, all the other popularity stuff going on. But see, Sir Walter Raleigh, is what I was reading here, said that in 1589 that he introduced them to the Irish, but it took another 40 years for the rest of the world to catch on to. So do what you want with the research. I just get these facts. These facts are on foodrepublic.com. All right, but see, and they also say that they last longer than you think. I guess you can actually, wherever you have them for a while, they can stay safe to eat. But they got to be like a cool, dark room, you know? You can't just put them in the heat, and you can't just sit them in the corner and forget about them in a bag, because after a while you might have vodka or something like that. I mean, simply put, they start to rot. Okay, folks, so if you know your taters, you know, I don't know. A common question is, should they be stored in the refrigerator? The answer is no, not unless they're already cooked. Don't do that. Don't store them in there. Put them, do your research. Once again, basically, you need to understand that if you mess a potato up, you have to throw it away. It'll impact their flavor way more than you think, and it'll make them rot just like that. Because that drop in temperature, like say you don't watch them, okay? The drop in your temperature in your house, your heat on, your AC on, coming and going. The potatoes, they how do you say it? The starch in it begins to break down into sugar, so it rots immediately. So, and that's what happens anyway. So when you eat them, when we pass it, when we do our thing, and I think that's a good thing. Potatoes were actually once used as a medical cure. Oh yeah. Well, it's not really a big secret that we know they're good for you, but they're high in vitamin C. And if you know that and you know other things they're good for, it's absolutely great. They're antioxidants, and they can promote and repair tissue growth, and you know, they can help you with your iron uptake as well. We know that. You know, always eat your taters. Growing up, I was always told to eat them, but a long time ago, way back when, people were battling like bubonic plague, and they were thinking that taters was like were a good remedy. They thought you could put like slices of taters in your sock at night, wake up the next day, and you would be fine. I don't know. That's a European thing. Nobody actually knows who invented the potato chip. If you like tater chips and you're like me and I like them, you can look at me and tell that I love tater chips, potato chips. They were invented in 1853 if you look at most common claims, but 17. So, once again, I don't know this stuff. You can grow potatoes at almost any altitude, folks. So if you're one of those people and you want to learn how to grow, they say they were first found and grown in the Andes Mountains. That already tells you right there that they can be grown at high altitudes. So they thrive at higher altitudes according to studies. People have done studies on taters. So they can grow at almost any elevation on Earth. It really depends on the time of the year, but they also can survive all year. They can go dormant. They can be, their status, it's like a staple food worldwide, you know. So I don't know, maybe. They say that potatoes were the first vegetables grown in space, and actually up in as early as 1995, we have actually been attempting to grow vegetables and things some fruits on the moon, because they want to, or did I say the moon? Mars. And they've done it off and on since 95. But what they have accomplished, they didn't get so big. They've only done so much. But what's crazy is it paved the foundation for today's results. So what they're still studying had to do with what they planted back in 95. There's something still going on there. So whatever it may be, whatever. Did you know there's a potato museum? Yeah, that's right. There's a tater museum. Guess where it's at? I'll give you just a moment. Idaho. That's right, Blackfoot, Idaho. You get a chance, go in there. The USA was actually a relatively late adopter of a potato, but it's now the world's fourth largest potato producer. China, India, and Ukraine. And then here we come in, you know, as the fourth largest potato producer. I mean, they're all over the place. And if you visit the Idaho Potato Museum, it'll tell you all about it, where it started, how it got its reports to become a museum, how it got its everything in it. It's just like you think. I've not been there. I've only seen pictures and done research. But do what you may with that information. And if you want to check out the Idaho Potato Museum in Blackfoot, Idaho, go right ahead. I think that could be cool. Maybe. Did you know? Let me tell you something, folks. They were once used as currency. That's right. Nobody had, back in the 13th century, they didn't say, hey, give me $20 for a 10 and then a 10 for 2 5s and then I'll trade you and I'll give you. Then nobody knew any kind of that. So as early as the 13th century, they knew the value of a tater, and they were like, hey, I'll give you this for that. I'll give you, They actually didn't have much choice because the economy is what thrived on it, much like today. So it's one of those things that made you go, wait, it was a currency thing, the economy? I don't know. It's one of those things. Taters, who knew? There are over 5,000 varieties of potatoes. Or shall I say, there's over 5,000 varieties of potato. And if you want to put an E on that or not, that's up to you. But you probably think of things, when I say taters, you might think of like Yukon Gold. I think of russet myself, Charlotte. That's just like the tip of the iceberg. That's nothing. But there apparently are 5,000 different varieties of potatoes across the world. And I didn't know that. Like, I don't think that way. Like, I didn't know and think that there's 5,000 different varieties. Like, I know some of the ways that you can tell, and I guess if you know this, I guess that it would almost have to mean there was a study somewhere, but there's starchy, there's waxy, there's all-purpose, and, most of the times we like our all-purpose taters. That's what we do. We cook with them, they mash them up, they fry them, we bake them, but they're not great for mashing, they say, because they're the waxy ones are not, but then the starchy ones are, if you want sugar content, you got to look at taters different. Now, this is where my opinion is coming into what I'm researching. I'll just say it like this. My daughter loves taters, okay? I went to eat the other day, and my daughter got mashed potatoes, fries, and a baked tater. And I'm telling you right now, she ate every bit of it, and she's like, I love taters. So the next night, I had taters here. I had baked taters last night. Absolutely, they loved them. Those taters that I cooked all day and baked all day, they were devoured. They ate them. So, it tells you there. Anyway, I don't know what you guys got going on. I don't know what you got going on with your weekend. We got prom here around where we're at. So, just killing the time. Go out and do you. Listen to this whenever you're watching and listening more than any. I do want to get on the radio somehow and do it. But the facts about eggs and facts about taters, you may or may not have known. You may or may not care. But eggs and taters, that's why I titled this tonight. That's all I got, folks. Have fun. Have a good evening. Have a good rest of the weekend and a good week. And continue to be blessed the way you do. Listen, what are those 3 words I say? Week after week, I say these words. Love, peace, chicken grease. Later, guys, and thanks for watching.